This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
All right. The Canes, baby, sitting at 2-0 and number 12, I believe, in the country. Is that correct, Manny? 12?
I think number 10 now.
Number 10. Okay, number 10. There we go. Number 10 in the country. Looking good. I mean, it was FAMU and all that good stuff, but they took care of business. I like what I saw. Now you get to, again, a winnable game, but Ball State at least will be competitive. And it'll be a team that will challenge you. They've got some experience on that team. So at least we should see more of a challenge this week for the Canes.
Yeah, certainly. If you think of what happened last weekend, right, with Notre Dame and Northern Illinois pulling off the upset, this is one of those games that, if you're Miami, you should be more focused, especially after just seeing what happened to the Irish losing at home. I do expect Miami to win and to win convincingly, but I hope it's not one of those performances that we're sitting here saying, man, why do these guys keep doing this? Why do they keep failing to show up and take care of business the way that they should? To me, if they go out and blow out NIU, then Mario Cristobal remains on schedule with really turning this program around.
Yeah, no, listen, now let me defend Northern Illinois a little bit. They've kind of been on the rise for a while, right? They have actually been a decent program lately, right? If I remember correctly.
They've kind of been up and down. They did play in the Orange Bowl about a decade ago, if you remember. They came down here.
It's Kaepernick's team, right?
No. Kaepernick was at Nevada, if I'm not mistaken.
Nevada, that's what it was.
You're thinking of Nevada, but NIU has been, they did win the MAC conference, they've just kind of been up and down a little bit. Like they haven't been the best team in the last few years in the MAC, but that's still a heck of a win for them at Notre Dame. This opponent from Miami, Ball State, I don't think they've ever beaten a top 10 AP ranked team.
No. But NIU is one of those that if you go screw around, they can surprise your ass. So I'm not I'm not shocked by them because it's like playing Troy or somebody like that. If you want to go underestimate, whatever, some of these Appalachian State or whatever, you go ahead and do that, bro. North Dakota State, or you want to go ahead and do that, go ahead. Those are decent programs at least sometimes. So but again, it was a huge loss for Notre Dame. There's no way you lose that game. You're supposed to win that game. Again, challenge this week will be a little bit better. You expect them to win. But what I expect, and I'm glad you brought this up, is professionalism.
Mm-hmm.
Now you guys are getting paid, by the way. You need to perform every week. And I think that's where you nailed it. That's where you find progress. That if you take this game serious and you make it boring by kicking their ass, then you did your job. Because really what you want to get to is you want to get to your backups again in this game.
You do. And look, the bottom line is we've seen Miami too many times in the last 2 decades play a game like this and screw around, lose guys to injuries. They put themselves back in a way that they shouldn't. And I think that's the one thing Mario is trying to change, right? Beat the teams that you're supposed to beat and dominate them. And I think, the first half last week against Florida A&M wasn't to his liking. They didn't play a very clean game. They had a lot of penalties. They came out in the second half and they looked a lot better, I thought. But again, that's something that changes with culture, right? It changes with the players themselves. They don't allow themselves to fall into traps and show up every single week the way that they're supposed to. This is a game where, look, they're 36.5 point favorites over Ball State. This game should be over by halftime.
By the way, I took the over last week, and I like the over again this week.
Yeah, 54.5. I think Miami scoring 50 points against this Ball State defense is not out of the realm of possibility. This team gave up 34 points last week to Missouri State. So yes, I agree with you. I think 54.5 is a very doable number. This should be a 56-7, 60-3 type game in my mind.
Yeah, I think so. And I think this is the kind of game, again, where you get your backups in there and then they're excited and they want to score. And you want to You want to start getting those guys even sharper in these kind of games. So that way they're ready to step in for any injuries. And that's the beauty of these 3 weeks, dude. In these 3 weeks, you should have an opportunity to keep Cam Ward and everybody else kind of fresh, and you should be able to rotate that second half of your roster in there a lot over these 3 weeks.
For sure. And I think we saw that last week. We saw a lot of guys, freshmen and newcomers get into the game against FAMU. You saw, they gave Jalen Rivers essentially the day off as he recovers from a minor deal. They were able to play Markel Bell, the 6'9" monster that they got out of JUCO, that they hope turns into sort of the left tackle of the future. He was able to get into that game and play quite a bit, and so. You're experimenting with some young guys. You're getting guys reps so that when you need them later in the year, again, to win a national championship, you need depth and you need to be able to play 16 games. It's going to be a long season if that's really what you think you can accomplish. And so you need to have, second teamers that get into the game. And let's face it, for the last 20 years, there haven't been many opportunities for the Hurricanes to get freshmen valuable playing time because they've had to struggle to just even be in the game against a lot of teams. So this is another one of those opportunities to play a bunch of young guys.
Yeah, it's awesome. And as long as you handle it the right way, then that will be, the progress. I would imagine Bain and others aren't going to play again this week, right? Why?
Yeah, there's really no reason to risk it. And I think if you saw the USF Alabama game last week, and USF is who Miami plays next week, that was a 14-13 game in the fourth quarter for Alabama. And I know the final score was lopsided 42-13, but we've talked about this before. That coach at USF, he's got one of the best G5 programs in the country. He's got legitimate talent there. The Tampa area always has players, and that quarterback, Byron Brown, is the real deal. So you give Ruben Bain and a bunch of these other guys another week off to rest their bodies, then you can get them back for that game in Tampa. And hopefully you continue to kick ass where they don't even have to play the whole game, and they're totally fresh for when Virginia Tech comes and they've gotten a little bit of reps back into the mix.
How's Fletcher, man? Now that he's had a couple games and coming back from that foot injury, I know it's when it comes to injuries, it's kind of hard to but how's he feeling? And he looks good, man.
Yeah, I mean he's done his job to this point. 3 touchdowns, not as many touches maybe as some other guys. 12 attempts. Damian Martinez has 26. Jordan Lyle, the true freshman, has gotten 12 attempts, but he's getting into a flow. And I think the most encouraging thing is he's effective in the red zone. You need a big physical dude who is going to do that. And Damian Martinez is a big physical dude too, but he's your workhorse. He's going to be the guy that's running on first and second down. If you can bring Mark Fletcher in on third down, throw him a few passes out of the backfield, get him involved in the red zone, that keeps Damian Martinez fresh, that he doesn't have to take as many hits. So to me, I liked what I've seen so far from the depth of Miami's running game. I just wish they were a little.
And it's smart because they're bringing him along slowly. You cannot bring him back and make him a workhorse already. I mean, you just can't do that to the kid. So you're better off using Damian. That's why. And again, I'm sure you're pacing him to see, hey, how's the soreness and all that after the game, after the next game, and those kind of things. I'm sure his workload will pick up a little bit as the season goes on.
Yeah, and again, you're building depth. Jordan Lyle is a freshman that they're really, really excited about, dude. And to me, he's kind of the third guy when you look at, workhorse, being able to handle responsibility. And I think having that guy play early, like you said, allows Fletcher to ease his way back in, allows Damian Martinez to get a blow, and it also prepares you for, God forbid, an injury to either one of those first two guys.
Right. I'm with you there. All right. What are you working on the athletics so folks can check you out, my man?
Well, I just came out with a state of Florida recruiting mailbag that I answered for fans who wanted to kind of get an idea of what's going on big picture wise between all the state schools. So I came out with that today. Tomorrow I'll have my oddly specific predictions column, which is pretty popular on the website now, one of the most read things that I do every single week. And then Friday, we're going to have our ACC Power Rankings. Grace Rayner and I will put that out. And I think it's an interesting read for Miami fans. We down here live in our own little bubble. We don't really pay attention to what's going on in the league. You might look at the league standings every once in a while, but there's been some interesting developments. I think Syracuse is a team that, it's at the end of Miami's schedule. I don't know if you watched that game against Georgia Tech or happened to see the score, but
I saw the highlights is what
yes.
I did. I went to the highlights.
Kyle McCord is a pretty good quarterback, and I know he got a lot of the blame for Ohio State struggles, but he and Oronde Gadsden, the second, are forming a pretty nice little tandem there. And as I look ahead to this Canes schedule, I'm thinking, that might be one of their tougher tests at the end of the year. So
didn't Ohio State quarterback also struggle and then go to LSU and have some success or something?
What was that guy's name again? Joe Burrow? Yeah,
Burrow. Yeah, that's guy. Yeah. So it is possible.
It is possible to turn things around. Yeah,
a struggling transfer from a Power 5 stud school. Yeah, it's a possibility that that can happen. All right, good shit. Follow him on Twitter at Manny_Navarro, and of course visit our friends at Caneswear. Use our code BIG010. You will get 10% off. And of course, if you order online over $99, you will also get free shipping. So there you go at caneswear.com. Manny, as always, thank you, my brother. We will catch up on Friday.
All right, brother. Take care. See you,
sir. There you go, Manny Navarro and our Caneswear Miami Hurricanes.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.